just saw is what my Audi used to be. Back in March of 2020, I was having a couple friendly runs with my friends at a totally legal track, sanctioned race event, and I began having problems with my 3 to 4 synchros, and I went to grab fourth gear at about 100 miles an hour and found second pretty quickly. What that did was floated my valves at about 9,000 RPM or so, and pretty much just destroyed the engine and the turbos and yeah, everything else that goes with it. So since that happened, I have rebuilt the transmission with new carbon synchros and a new shift collar from JHM. I bought a BF block off of eBay from a 2005 All-Road. I got new CHRAs for my KO4 turbos, rebuilt it all, put it all back together. Now we are working on getting the engine and transmission put back in the car. So the plan for today, David's gonna be coming over. We will work on getting the engine and transmission put back in the car. Got to do a couple things with the exhaust. But other than that, it should be pretty straightforward. I don't know how much we'll get done today, but if it, ends up being too much, we'll do a second episode on this. So today we're gonna try to get it all back together, drop the engine in the car, see how much we can get done, and then we'll go from there. So guys, time to finally address the old S4. This thing has kind of been with me for a few years now. It was actually my first Audi that I've ever bought. Bought it from a guy in Hollywood a few years back for really cheap and it needed a lot of work, but I put in a lot of time and effort over the years with this, and last year, I finished my build and promptly destroyed it with a misshift. So, I'm not afraid to own it to my mistake there. But yeah, 9,000 RPM and valves for the turbos.
Heck yeah.
But we're back. I got a new engine block, rebuilt the transmission, so hopefully misshifts don't happen again. Did some carbon synchros in there from JHM, as well as a new 1-2 gear selector. But right now, we're going to get the final preps for this thing to go back in the car. So first thing I'm gonna do is I gotta add a couple exhaust studs, mount the downpipes, do a couple heat shields, and then we'll work it over to the car to get it dropped in. So, quick tip here with exhaust studs. So, exhaust studs are, a little bit trickier because you don't have anything to grab onto. So, the old school trick is to take 2 nuts, back them into each other. Yeah, you're gonna back them up to each other. I've got 2 flange nuts, so I had to put them, flange to flange on this side so I could fit my wrench in there. And once you tighten those down, you'll actually be able to wrench this thing back into place. She's in there.
What you got there? That's not the Mummy, is it?
No, these are my trusty old Chinese downpipes.
Oh, nice.
They've seen a couple different engines as well, but they're holding up. Heat wrap on them. Some people say it could rust out, but in Texas we don't really deal with climate that could cause these things to rust out much.
Suckers.
So I haven't had any issues with it. They've been wrapped for a couple years now. But we're gonna throw these on, and then get to the heat shields, and we'll be ready to get this thing in the air and put it over to the car.
Heck yeah, let's do it. I'm feeling very Speed Academy today.
Yeah?
With one guy doing the work and the other one filming.
So what are your thoughts, man? What do you think? Lexus or BMW?
Personally, being a Toyota fan, I want to lean towards the Lexus.
Dude, being a BMW fan, I'm leaning towards the Lexus.
I read a comment that someone put, it was like, Toyotas don't leak oil, they just discard the unnecessary.
That's funny.
You know what car doesn't leak oil, surprisingly? I'll let you take one guess.
An Audi that doesn't run?
So what are you doing now, Taylor?
I am tightening down the transmission mounts.
Nice. So you just ended up cutting these shields here and then gonna tighten those down. What else? We gotta put the new transmission fluid in.
Yep. Yeah, we gotta top up the trans fluid.
Oh, I'm ready to see this thing run again, man. This thing's sweet.
Oh yeah, me too, man.
It's been a lot of work that's been done to this thing. Like those are Cayenne brakes? Were they?
They're off of a Cayenne.
Yeah. Yeah, Cayenne brakes. That was a doozy of an install, having to shave off all that extra material.
Yeah.
Make those things fit with your wheels.
Yeah, it's fun, but they stop, man. They stop fast.
Hey, your paint job has held up pretty well though, actually.
Yeah, I mean, hasn't seen too much road use, but yeah.
But if it was a pretty bad paint job, you'd know quickly.
Yeah, for sure you would.
On these things.
Right down here, next to the greasiest of holes.
Oh, my ex-wife.
So, yep, it's an 8mm hex drive. So, big boy. It's not coming loose though, so I think I gotta get the big breaker bar.
Ooh.
So, yeah, we're gonna have fun.
Hit him with the clamps.
Hey, I do it all. Clamping, crimping, occasional snipping.
Das Bierfunnel for the car. For the Audi.
Only the best for the Audi. It's Titan Cinto fluid.
What's the model of this transmission, do you know?
01E.
01E. Oh, this is cool. It looks like Anakin's pod racer back here.
This is pod racing.
Now this is pod racing.
Hey. See? Pulling up.
Well, let's see what we can do.
I should probably change that field of vision. Actually, if you just lean this thing forward, I can... Let me just...
This looks weird as fuck.
So funny on the camera.
God damn, I've got like no room under here.
Should have followed step one.
Jack up your car.
First step is jack up your car.
All right, I'm good down here.
Next time, no. Oh.
I'm gonna come up for air real quick.
Not too quickly. Alright, I'm gonna lower.
God damn. Okay, so I'm gonna try to get the axles, the drive shaft, and the exhaust mounted on. We could probably take this whole engine hoist out now.
Alright.
That bad boy's in there.
I gotta get the deep socket so I can move.
I think I'm gonna order some pizza.
Alright. Time to throw the axles back on.
Yep.
We're getting there.
Yeah, basically the axles, the big issue here is that I'm gonna have to jack up the spindle, slide it in. Gotta get it in here. Yeah, that's the hard part. Alright, we can just get this last axle and then we'll call it a night for today.
Yeah. See if I can bring the other camera over here. Or the camera.
Are you recording the whole thing?
Yeah.
Instead of us going, ah, it's gross, it's so slimy. Fucking hold it.
Oh. Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay,
Get both
go
arms.
ahead. Yeah, so you're gonna feed it up through the subframe. Yep, just like that.
You want to see a badass move right here?
Oh my God. Jason Bourne.
Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
It's Jason Bourne.
It ain't legit, but it's honest work.
You can pull it out. All right, rotate it. Okay, so we got quite a bit done today. Not as far as I would have hoped, but you know, David's got places to be. I've got, you know, things to do tomorrow, so I got to cut it eventually. What's that?
Kind of important.
Guess where you just got into? Cool guy zone.
What did we get done today? So we got the engine installed in the chassis. Got the engine mounts on, the transmission mounts on. Got the axles both bolted in, drive shaft. Yeah, and then the exhauster mounted up. What's left? We've got to get the alternator installed, bring the AC over here. We got to run all the electrical wiring, so that's not going to be too hard. It's just plugging things in where they go, running a couple ground wires, hooking up fuel, putting the front clip on, and then bleeding the system, top it up with oil, and then pray that she starts. So we got probably about 50% of the way done today.
This thing's not bad to work on, man. Obviously I'm not really used to working on German cars, but as far as accessibility goes, I mean, we slid this engine in pretty easily.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
It's really not so bad. It's really a wide engine bay, and once you take off the front end here, I mean, there's so much room to play with.
I'd say with this, it's definitely all packaged very nicely.
Yeah.
Where, yeah, everything comes in and out together. It's not like super complicated.
No. Now, the stuff that I don't know, because I'm really just not familiar with, are all, your vacuum hoses for your turbo lines and, all your connectors, but that's all just comes with experience with working on a certain platform, which you've done, a handful of times. Now, so so it won't take you much longer to just breeze through this kind of thing.
No, I should be able to get this finished up in about 2 hours. See if we can get it started. So we're going to document a second part of this in episode 2, if you will, and then see if we can get it started next time. But for now, that'll do it. I'm excited to see this thing back on the road. It's kind of a new addition to the channel. We've got a few different cars we mess around with all the time, but this would be nice to kind of get this thing back up and running.
Yeah, it'll be nice to have an actual fast car back in the fleet.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Well, I mean, I guess SQ5 is fast, but...
Yeah, it's okay, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely no S4 for sure, but it's pretty quick for a mommy SUV.
Yeah, the mommy milker.
Mommy milkers.
Oh, God. I guess that'll do it for this one, guys. So thank you again for checking this out. As always, we appreciate everybody who likes and subscribes, shares these videos, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yeet.